the channel from Boss Fight and the Legends of Lucha Libre, we got Perro Aguayo and we've got Vampiro.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Legends of Lucha Libre Boss Fight unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got Vampiro and we got Perro Aguayo. But for all your Boss Fight needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Big Bad Toy Store. Use the link in the description down below. And that's exactly what I did, is I did pick these up at Big Bad Toy Store. Ringside Collectibles doesn't seem to be carrying this wave here, so had to go to alternate places today, of course. I went to Big Bad Toy Store, picked these up. Here they came, and of course, these are two of the four figures, Black Taurus and Ultimo Dragon, two that I am very excited for. We will do those in another unboxing, so stay tuned for that one as well on the channel. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. We'll do some comparisons later on in this video as well. And the Boss Fight Legends of Lucha Libre line, we're getting a little deeper. This is their second basic. That's kind of what I akin these to as basics. They have their Ultra Edition ones, which was it Lady Marvella and Conan were the last ones we unboxed. They had Phoenix and Penta as well in those. And then, of course, we had Juventud, Taya, some of those as well in Series 1. And this is Series 2, and some all-timers here. Now, Perro Aguayo, a tragic story. Of course, a guy that did die in the ring. You can look up that story. But Vampiro, probably a little bit more familiar to worldwide collectors, worldwide wrestling fans because of his time in WCW and a lot of different organizations. He's in Billy Corgan's NWA currently as we're filming this video here. But definitely some interesting figures. So let's dive in. I would do Vampiro first. And of course, Vampiro's a name I heard back in the day, but I really wasn't super familiar until his time in WCW. I was a big fan of his work in WCW. He brought my buddies the Misfits in, feuded with Sting. I enjoyed a lot of that kind of stuff, and I really enjoyed the Vampiro character. He's had some ups and downs in his career, there's no doubt about it, but this is Vampiro. Old school Vampiro from Mexico. Of course, a lot of people think he is from Mexico. He is actually Canadian, I do believe. But definitely a cool one, an all-timer. And much like Conan that we got in this line, for a lot of people, maybe it's not their version of Conan. Same thing could be said about Vampiro. But to a whole generation, especially of the Mexican Lucha Libre fan, when they think Vampiro, they close their eyes at night, think Vampiro. This is exactly what they're thinking of. So I'd love that other version, but this is a good version as well for Vampiro. A little different than how he looks nowadays, as I did say. But we got basic style carding, very akin to the Mattel Basics. Legends of Lucha Libre at the top, got his name. Got Vampiro, Fanaticos, of course, right there. And a little kind of a, I don't know, Photoshop glamour shot of him. It just looks like a little, almost cartoonish in some ways there. But definitely interesting. We're very used to packaging like this in wrestling. Got Vampiro, it says on the side. Says it on the side there. And then on the back, got the cross cell down below. Once again, we're unboxing all those on the channel, so stay tuned for that. You got a glamour shot of him. You got a glamour shot of the action figure. You got the tail of the tape. Let's see what it says about our favorite Vampiro. And out of all the Vampiros I know, he's probably my favorite one. So there you go. Height, 6'2", weight 250 pounds. From Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Shout out to Thunder Bay. Absolutely beautiful this time of year. How's that Toys R Us doing? How's that Toys R Us and Thunder Bay doing? It's on the to-do list. It's on the to-do list. Debuted 1985. What a great year to be alive. Mark McGuire, USA Topps card back in 1985. When I think of 1985, that's what I think of. I think of that Mark McGuire baseball card. The more you know, the more you know. Finishing move, the old nail in the coffin. Oh, I know all about that one. Collect them all, of course. But looking good on the packaging. I have no issues with the packaging on these. Definitely interesting packaging. But we're here to open them up, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Vampiro coming out of the card. See you later. Goodbye. And now we get down to business. Plastic Prison. Old Vampiro doing Vampiro things. Pull him out, and bam! Uh-oh, Perro. Look at that. The dangers of unboxing is what that is. Knocking him right off the table, but Perro, he made it. He made it. There it is. All right, now we got Vampiro out of the package, though. So an interesting one. Like I said, it does feel like a basic with just a little bit more detail than your Mattel Basics for now, as we do know Mattel Basics are getting a big upgrade later on this year, and they will be kind of up to this quality standards in a lot of ways. But let's dive into this, and I guess we'll start at the head here. Very cord-like, braided-like hair on Vampiro. Definitely feels different, definitely looks different. I don't remember many wrestling figures with this kind of a hairstyle, so I'm here for that. That is quite the difference there. Now, Vampiro, I don't know. If you took away the face paint on him around the eyes, I don't think I would know who this is if somebody said, hey, who is this? I, of course, knowing Vampiro, but a lot of people, I'm sure there's people watching this that aren't super familiar with Vampiro. You take that away, they wouldn't know, and you put that face paint on, maybe they wouldn't know either. But it's definitely an interesting look and a different look for the majority, like I did say with Vampiro. But definitely an interesting head sculpt, and I guess looking at the head and the body, very, very pale. I feel like he needed to be a touch tanner. Just a touch tanner, not super tan. We're not talking Hulk Hogan hot dog tan. Maybe just a touch of color, because very, very pale here in this figure. Now, Vampiro does have his tattoos going on. Almost that one on the chest almost reminds me of a young Ozzy Osbourne is what that reminds me of. He's got the 2 chest tattoos, a little bit of starts of a sleeve. Of course, he added a lot of ink over the years since then. This is the beginnings of Vampiro and his ink, I guess we'll call it on this one. But definitely an interesting look to Vampiro back in the day. A lot more plain Jane than what we saw in WCW and later on. But definitely an interesting head sculpt. The hair really the winner and something different here. Articulation, the arms do go around right there. There is no bicep cut, but there is single jointed elbows on this one. You do get the side to side at the elbows. Hands back forth, side to side. We've got the up and down on this one. So we got the gun hinge on it. Is we going to put a gun in his hand? You get the up and down hinge. He does got a little bracelet going on there that is removable if you want to. He's got one on the other side as well. No Fists of Fury on Vampiro. He's got 2 gripping hands. So didn't come with anything to grip, but they do have those accessory packs, so you could put some of those weapons in his hands if you needed to. He does got the waist. I do like the waist on here. I do appreciate it. It gets a little goofy when you do that, but it's got a lot of movement, a lot of side to side, a lot of back and forth going on with old Vampiro. That does look very nice. Got a nice little red belt, breaking up the color. He's got the red and black attack going on throughout. Very plain Jane, but this is what he wore back in the day, as we do know. But we do got the big old Vampiro split, so when you're talking about Mattel Basics, at least as of right now, this blows those basics out of the water with that articulation. You do get the single jointed knees, no side to side at the knee, but we do get a boot cut on here. And you do get ankles back and forth, side to side. I will say my ankles on both these ankles seem to be very, very loose. Very loose on here, very easy to move, which isn't a bad thing. I would like them just a little bit tighter. Just a hair tighter on these, I think, would be the way to go. But it's a very interesting figure. Now, really, the only thing this is really missing to me is a little bit of an ab crunch, but you get a heck of a lot of movement out of the waist on these. So you do get some good movement, but it just would be nice to have a little bit of an ab crunch. But then that would get you probably to the next price point. They're more deluxe figures, what they're doing. And I could be wrong, but I feel like there is a Vampiro coming in the more deluxe style down the road. They'd be fooled not to, obviously. I think people would want that. People would buy that for sure. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? We do got some stamping on the foot. It does say 2023 Legends of Lucha Libre by Masked Republic Boss Fight Studios down there. And does he fit on a ringside Mattel stand? I'm trying to get him on there. Oh, what do you know? He fits. He fits on the stand. So if you need to put him on a stand, you know he'll fit on the Mattel ringside ones there. So very cool. A good version of Vampiro. A little looseness in my ankles. Your results may vary there. But for what they're going for and what the articulation style is, it's definitely an old school Vampiro from back in the day. And that's what they were trying to do. So I'd say they got their point across right here. So Vampiro looking pretty good. Now we're going to turn our attention over to El Hijo. Or no, just Hijo del Perro Aguayo. Now, not super familiar with Perro Aguayo, and this is technically Junior. I believe his dad, I think his dad was even in WCW maybe a couple times or two. And I want to think his dad was even like WWF light heavyweight champion back in the day. A very famed wrestler, of course, in Lucha Libre, as is Perro Aguayo Jr. But once again, I am not super familiar. The thing I remember the most is, of course, it was either Twitter or Facebook, whatever it was. The night he did pass away, he did die in the ring. I believe Rey Mysterio was there that night. Was that his opponent? Was his opponent Rey Mysterio? I think possibly. So definitely never good when somebody dies in the ring. Things like that happen. Very sad. And I can't think of too many times where in the middle of a match people have died. You know, Ted DiBiase's dad, Mike DiBiase, did die in the ring. Misawa, of course, the All Japan Pillar over there, did die in the ring. Perro Aguayo died in the ring. Owen Hart obviously kind of died in the ring. I mean, it wasn't in the match, but we all know that tragedy. But there's been some instances over there. So, you know, as they say, it is not ballet. And I guess you're taking literally your life into your own hands every time you're doing stuff like that. I guess no different than a gymnast out there, a football player, basketball player, and so forth. So there it is. There's Perro Aguayo looking good there. Good remembrance of, you know, him as a person for his family, things like that. But definitely similar style of Vampiro, the carding, of course, all that. You got the name on the side there. On the back, we got the tail of the tape, we got the blurb, we got the glamour shot, we got the pictured glamour shot, we got the cross-sell down below. Like I said, we're unboxing all those on the channel. Let's read it here. Height, 5'6". I thought he was a little taller than that, so he's 5'6", just a little guy. 165 pounds from Tala, Jalisco, Mexico. Debuted 1995, finishing move La Lanza, and I am not familiar with the La Lanza. I've probably seen it, I probably just don't know what it's called, I would have to imagine. But we're going to get him out of the package here, see what all the fuss is about with old Perro. See you later. Goodbye. Is Perro dog in Spanish? It's been a long time since I've had Spanish class. But looking good right there, looking nice. See what's going on, see what's going on. See you later. Goodbye. All right, now, first thing I noticed once again is the skin tone color. Definitely a little bit more sun-kissed than Vampiro. And I don't know, the more I think about it, was Vampiro really pasty white? I mean, he wasn't Sheamus white. I don't know, I guess it's up to interpretation really at the end of the day. I think maybe just a hair more tan, but maybe not as tan, or maybe as tan as this would have worked well. I don't know, what am I saying? It's talking about tans. We need to get the hot dog tan. Just give everybody a hot dog tan, let's get it over with. I don't know about that, but definitely looks good here. It definitely looks like him in the head sculpt department. Once again, I'm not super familiar with it, but I just looking at the package, definitely got the head sculpt really good. Love the hair that's all slicked back like this. Very good head sculpt here. Definitely looking good there. Now, articulation is going to be the same. The arms go around, side to side, back and forth at the elbow. Now, we do get black elbow pads on him. We also get the white wrist tape, I guess we'll call this, and we do get taped fists for him. He doesn't have fists. He does have gripping hands once again, but it looks like he's ready for a taped fist match because he's so taped up right there, looking good. Big old splits as we talked about. Of course, you got the hula hoop in the midsection here, so we got all that movement out of the hula hoop. Head back and forth, side to side. I don't think these heads are removable. I'm going to check real fast, though. No, I don't think. I mean, they are. Oh, they are removable, so you can pop these off if you want to. So if you need to move some heads around, things like that, you can definitely do that at the end of the day. He does got the single jointed knees here. You got the knee pad sculpted in. It isn't like on the elbows that can be removed. You do get the boot cut, and then you do get the ankles. And once again, my ankle's just a little bit loose on the side to side. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but a little looser than I would like them to be. But like I said, it's not the end of the world there. He does got a t-shirt around here, of course, looking like a young Raven, looking like a young grunge performer out of Seattle. Of course, having your shirt around your waist, or your flannel, like they would do in the grunge days. Does say Perros del Mal on the front. You got a little kind of cut through from a bear or something like that going on. Definitely looking interesting there. And he does he fit on a ringside stand? I don't know if he's going to fit. He looks like he's got awfully small hole compared to Vampiro. Very small, very tight hole on Perro. So he is not going to fit in a stand. So definitely some differences from figure to figure as far as who fits on a stand and who doesn't fit on a stand. Definitely an interesting figure, but in all honesty, if you have to rank the four of them here, I got to think Ultimo Dragon is the clear #1 favorite people are going to want to get. Black Taurus and Vampiro fighting for that 2 spot, I think, and whichever one's not 2, the other one's 3, and then Perro is probably going to be at the bottom. And that's just how I see it, I guess, looking at it. That's my guess, because people love people in masks. People love some face paint. And Perro out of the bunch, a little bit plainer Jane. I think that's a fair assessment there. But we do got Conan, of course, not the Barbarian, but we got Bowdy Bowdy and Rowdy Rowdy, Lucha Libre style Conan right here, looking good. And of course, we know all about him and Vampiro not getting along, fighting like cats and dogs back in the day, as we do know. So we do have those sitting here. We do got the Hoovy Juice. How about Hoovy Juice right there? He's here for the fun time. I did grab Pac. I really like this Pac figure from the latest Unmatched series. A very cool one, so you can kind of see some scaling right there. Next to Vampiro with Pac. And then I did grab Rey Mysterio from the Halloween Havoc. So throwing it back to an old school Rey Mysterio. Now he's supposed to be 5'6", Perro Aguayo. And I believe Rey Mysterio, isn't he like 5'4", 5'5", something like that? So you stick these two together. I don't know. You look at that height difference here. He's supposed to be 5'6". I mean, what is Rey? Is Rey 5'4", 5'5"? I was thinking that, but that's not terrible in the scale department. I don't think so, if that's 5'6". But I think they said Vampiro was 6'1", 6'2". So these two are not scaled correctly. If he's 5'6", he's 6'1", let's say. That is not scaled correctly there. And then you got Ray right here against it. I don't know. Feels okay with Ray in the mix, but it doesn't feel okay as far as these guys scaling together, especially if he's 6'1" and he's 5'6". So I don't know. Scaling, what is it? It is very tough. And of course, when you're moving lines in between lines, it gets even tougher to figure out scale, as we do know. But I like what we're getting here. I like we're getting some of these characters because let's be honest, Mattel, Jazzwares, they're not giving us an old school Vampiro. Perro's never going to happen from Mattel or Jazzwares. So very happy to have an alternative route via boss fight to get these figures out. I'm here for that. I like that. I like to grow my collection. I like to get some international flavor in my collection from time to time in close to the scaling we're used to in this day and age with the AEW and Mattel Elite figures right now. So I like what I see here. Your mileage may vary. Depends what you're looking for in your collection, but definitely a good lineup here between these two. I'm very happy to get a Vampiro, ready to bring on the next incarnation of Vampiro from Boss Fight, Masked Republic, and all that as well. And the Legends of Lucha Libre. There you go. So there it is, Vampiro and Perro Aguayo. What do you guys think? You picking these up, playing the long game, passing, not sure? Let me know your thoughts on these down below. And of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. And then some. And we got even more content for you on Patreon, including early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it. It's all going on down over there on the old Patreon channel. And best of all, you do support the channel and all the content it does bring. You can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X. The _Kyle _Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for Legends of Lucha Libre, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.